I'd ask you at this point, do you know how many books you're going to write? How far planned are you, and how far along are you on the series?
Yeah, so I'm writing the second book right now. I'm imagining it's 5 books that they have. There's sort of 2 more worlds that they go into, and then in book 4, it's not quite a different world, but it's something special, which I don't want to give away. And then the 5th book, it all ends up back in our world, and all the madness and candy creatures and everything from all the other worlds will have a final showdown in our world. So that's the plan, at least, to do 5 books in the series. Excellent.
And then eventually when they make the movie, they'll compress them all and just do the last one as the primary movie, because that sounds like the cheapest to film.
That's right? It. It's done here. Yeah, exactly.
So he was on board. He signed off on the plan for.
Yes. Yeah. He's the one who definitely came up with a couple of those settings, the worlds for the next book. So he's on board for 5, but I have to do all the work. So he's like, yeah, do 5 books. No big deal.
7. It's all the same.
Make them twice as long. Come on, Dad.
So, because there is a lot of world building in this, and there's a lot of great, fun, wonderful names for all of the candy creatures that they're encountering. Lots of it's not the thing, it's not the brand name, but it's close. Right. We know what you're getting at.
Right.
How are you keeping all of that organized so that your world is cohesive throughout 5 books, and how deeply are you outlining ahead?
I'm definitely only outlining 1 book at a time in great detail, other than the sort of the overall plan of the arc of the series. Although I will say, as I do start the second book, Hugh and I are starting to discuss like character arcs across the whole 5 series. Where do we want this character to sort of grow and end up in book 5? So we are sort of talking about bigger character arcs across it. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like outlining in detail, I'm just doing 1 book at a time. So now I'm into book 2. But yeah, the question of how to keep it all organized is a good one. So I've started color coding my outlines, because there's 2 worlds. There's this world and there's the candy world, and soon there's going to be other worlds, and then even within each world there's different subplots. So yeah, I never color coded my outlines before, but for this one, every time it's a new world, it's the same color comes back in the outline, so I can scan through it and see, oh, it's been a while since I hit this storyline or that storyline. So we'll see. Hopefully color coding will help keep things straight.
I've been using an appendix, which I make it available online because why not? So if you head to middlegradeninja.com and click under the special features for Banneker Bones, you can see my appendix, and I've just got a list of every character in every setting.
Oh wow!
So that I use that thing at least once a writing session. I try not to, if I'm actually drafting, I try not to spend too much time on there. But if I just need to remember something, it's not the same as doing like an online search that leads me to 10 different rabbit holes. It's just the appendix that's there.
Yeah.
And it's tremendously come in handy.
That's pretty cool. I never even thought to do that. Yeah. And so when you add to the appendix, does it update live on the site, or yeah?
So there are of characters by the time book 3 comes around that I'm having to keep separate on my outline.
Yeah.
Because it's really spoilery to put them up there publicly. But everything else is game.
That's interesting. That's what I may do that. You're right. There's so many characters and place locations and spells. That's a good idea.
I can't imagine anybody happening upon it and taking the time to read it who hadn't first read the book and wasn't already interested in, or people who listen to the podcast and are just interested in writing in general. Then you freeloaders probably weren't going to read the book anyway.
Have at it. That's funny. I mean, for readers, if you're really into the series, having the appendix is a great idea. So yeah, I may steal that.
What my wife did, this really nerdy in the best way. Was it her master's thesis when she was getting her master's degree? It was a contextual analysis of The Gunslinger by Stephen King. So we've got multiple appendices for all the characters and all of the things and that. And I looked through that like, I bet this was really handy. Right. And then I was reading one of the author notes for the 4th or 5th book, and Stephen King was like, "Thank you to the authors of this appendix. Really helpful to have had it handy."
So he actually read it, and that's amazing. That's fantastic.
There's a photo of him with it on his desk.
That's fantastic. That is so cool. Was she really psyched when she found that out? That's amazing.
Oh, it's also a lot of pressure if you're the appendix maker. Like, I hope I got it all right. Or those future books.
You'll end up getting an angry letter from Stephen King. You forgot this character.
Well, if he goofed because he read their appendix, I mean, could you publicly get angry about that? Like, look, dude, it's your book. You should have done the work.
I'm just trying to help you here.
So, what did I wanted to ask you about? A lot of questions about the book. Because obviously you've got a sample for book 2. So no matter how far along you are in book 2, there's a sample at the end of book 1. So for sure. It opens that way. I assume you're kind of
exactly. That. It opens that way. Yeah, I thought it would be fun. What was it? I was watching the 21 Jump Street movies. I don't know if you've seen those. Yeah, and then and in the sequel, there's just a ton of jokes about it being a sequel, where they sort of like wink, wink, nod, nod to the audience about like, oh, the budget is bigger for the new Office, because it's like a bigger budget for the sequel. So yeah, I thought it'd be funny if Cassie was like aware in sort of a meta way, like, oh, this could be this is the sequel to the first one. So yeah, I'm stuck with that opening.
I am hard. I said Jonah Hill ones. Like I'm trying to remember. Were there Johnny Depp movies? I don't recall if there were. Not.
Exactly.
But I read that for a while it was going to be a 23 Jump Street crossover with the Men in Black, which I was really rooting for.
I know. I heard about that. I don't know why that got scrapped. I think the whole world was excited about that. Yeah, I know.
Would have been amazing. Oh, Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood.